Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Hari, and we have a legendary topic today.
And I'm Kimi. Today we are exploring the ultimate symbol of wild cower, the tiger, Panthera tigris. Hari, did you know that the name itself has a speedy history? Historically, the Latin tigris was thought to stem from an ancient Persian or Armenian word for arrow, much like the Tigris River. But today, linguists think they are actually just homonyms.
An arrow is the perfect image for a predator that strikes with such speed and precision. But let's look at the genetics first. Carl Linnaeus originally classified the tiger as Felis tigris back in 1758. It wasn't until 1929 that Reginald Innes Pocock placed it into the genus Panthera. And get this, their closest living relative isn't the lion or the leopard, it's actually the snow leopard. Their lineage is split between 2.7 and 3.7 million years ago.
That is wild. And speaking of other big cats, we have to talk about what happens when tigers and lions meet in captivity. A female tiger and a male lion produce a liger, which grows absolutely massive because the lion father passes on a growth-promoting gene, while the tiger mother lacks the growth-inhibiting gene. But a male tiger and a female lion produce a tigon, which stays normal-sized because the lioness has a growth-inhibiting gene and the tiger father doesn't have the growth-promoting one. However, breeding these hybrids often leads to severe birth defects and obesity, so it is widely considered unethical.
Yes, let's keep our focus on the magnificent wild tigers. They are the largest of all wild felines, though size varies widely. A male Siberian or Bengal tiger can weigh up to 260 kilograms, while the island-dwelling Sumatran tigers are much smaller due to insular dwarfism, with males only weighing up to 140 kilograms. But no matter the subspecies, they have the longest canines in the cat family, reaching up to 7.6 centimeters and an average bite force of over 1,200 newtons.
That bite force is devastating. They use it to grab prey by the throat, causing strangulation. But how do they get close enough to strike? It's all in the coat, Hari. Those iconic orange and black stripes are actually mathematical masterpieces. A Fourier analysis study showed that their striping patterns line up perfectly with the vertical patterns of light and shade in vegetation, like tall grass and reeds. Even cooler, because their prey is colorblind, they likely perceive the bright orange fur as green, helping the tiger blend right into the foliage. Oh, and every single tiger has a unique stripe pattern, like a fingerprint.
That is incredibly cool. I also read about some rare color variations. We have all heard of white tigers, but did you know there are also golden tigers and even snow-white tigers with extremely faint stripes? These are recessive traits, and sadly, their overrepresentation in captivity is the result of controversial inbreeding. But in India's Simlapal National Park, there is a fascinating wild population of pseudo-melanistic tigers with thick merged stripes. It's caused by a mutation in a transmembrane aminopeptidase gene, linked to their genetic isolation.
It's amazing how genetics work. Now, behaviorally, we think of tigers as solitary, but they have a complex social system. They define and defend home ranges, but they actually communicate a lot. They spray urine, claw trees, and use the Flehmen response, that funny curled lip grimace, to detect scents. When they want to be friendly, they perform a soft, low-frequency snort called proustin. And unlike male lions, male tigers are surprisingly chivalrous at a kill. They'll often let the females and cubs eat first before finishing the meal themselves.
Chivalry in the jungle, who would have thought? But when it comes to territory, things can get tense. Mothers are fiercely protective. They give birth to 2 or 3 blind, helpless cubs. If a new male takes over a home range, the cubs are at high risk of infanticide so the male can sire his own offspring. In Chitwan National Park, a 7-year study revealed that 12 out of 56 cubs and juveniles were killed by incoming males. It's a tough world out there.
It really is, especially when you factor in humans. Since the early 20th century, tigers have lost at least 93% of their historic range. They're extinct in West and Central Asia, Java, Bali, and large parts of China. Today, they're listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List, with only an estimated 3,700 to 5,500 individuals left in the wild. Poaching for skins, teeth, claws, and bones for traditional medicine remains a massive threat, alongside habitat destruction from logging and agriculture.
The scale of the illegal trade is staggering. Between 2000 and 2022, authorities confiscated over 3,300 tigers across 28 countries. In places like Hanoi, tiger bone glue is still highly valued. To make matters worse, commercial tiger farms in Asia breed them for parts, which conservationists warn actually increases the demand and puts wild populations in even greater danger. And we can't ignore the history of human-wildlife conflict. Tigers generally avoid us, but when their natural prey is scarce, they may target livestock, leading to retaliatory killings. Sometimes old or injured tigers turn to man-eating. The most famous was the Champawat tiger in Nepal and India, which was responsible for over 430 human deaths in the early 1900s before being shot by Jim Corbett. She had broken teeth, making it impossible to hunt her normal prey.
That's a tragic cycle for both sides. Thankfully, conservation measures are stepping up. India's Project Tiger, launched in 1973, now manages 53 reserves, which has helped their population recover. Nepal has successfully doubled its tiger population in a decade through strict anti-poaching operations. Plus, wildlife corridors are being built to connect fragmented habitats, and there are even plans to reintroduce tigers in Kazakhstan's Isle-Balkhash Nature Reserve.
That gives me so much hope. It shows how much we value them. After all, a 2004 global poll voted the tiger as the world's favorite animal, beating out the dog. From being the ride of the Hindu goddess Durga and Dionysus in Greek myth, to William Blake's famous poem, The Tiger, and even friendly characters like Tigger and Tony the Tiger, they hold an immortal place in our culture.
They absolutely do. Well, that is all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you all for listening, stay safe, and we will see you next time.
This episode is based on the Wikipedia article, Tiger, which is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike license. This podcast was crafted using artificial intelligence.